So hey guys, what's up? So welcome to my news channel. So starting from the first news. Core sector output falls to minus 5.2%, worst in 14 years. Manufacturing woes all in industries bearing fertilizers contracting September. The bad news on the Indian economy just got worse. The core infrastructure industries output, measuring a basket of 8 sectors accounting for 2/5 of the India's factory output, contracting to be the lowest in the at least 14 years. Pointing to deepening industrial slowdown, the growth contracted by 5.2% in September from a growth of 4.3% in the year-ago period, according to data released by the Commerce and Industry Ministry on Thursday. The development strengthens the case for the central bank to continue its monetary stimulus, experts said, with inflation likely to remain within the central bank's target range in the near term. Another rate cut in the December monetary policy review in a near certainty, said Sunil Kumar Sinha, principal economist at India Ratings. Such a low growth in the core sector industries has not been witnessed so far in either the 2011 to 2012 base or the 2004 to 2005 base years. This clearly indicates the severity of the ongoing industrial slowdown, said Sinha. Bearing fertilizers, where the output improved by 5.4% in the September, the other 7 infrastructure industries witnessed a contraction. Coal was the worst performer on account of an extending monsoon, a surge in renewable energy supply, and labor issues at State-run Coal India Limited. Output contracted by 20.5% in September, compared to an 8.6% decline in the previous month and a 6.4% expansion in the year-ago period. Coal also accounts for a substantial share of the freight moved by the Indian Railways and the country's power generation capacity. Of India's installed capacity of 360 gigawatts, 54% is coal-fulfilled. Data show that production of key primary sources of energy such as crude oil and coal, as well as refined petroleum products and electricity to heating. Energy consumption, especially electricity and refinery products, is usually linked to overall demand in the economy. State-run Indian Oil Co-op Limited (IOC) on Thursday reported an 83% drop in its second quarter profit at 564 crore on the back of the slump in refinery margins and inventory losses. IOC Chairman Sanjeev Singh said diesel consumption grew by only 1% in the first 6 months of the current fiscal year, the worst slump in almost 2 decades in the automobile sector. Earlier this month, official data showed that industrial output had contracted 1.1% in August, the worst performance in 26 months. India's economic growth rate has slowed down to more than 5-year low of 5% in the June quarter. The Narendra Modi administration has taken a series of steps to reverse the trend, including a cut in the corporate tax rate in September from 30% to 22% for companies not awaiting of any tax breaks, and from 25% to 15% for new manufacturers. On a cumulative basis, for the first half of the fiscal year, the performance of the 8 core sectors remained dismal, within a growth of 1.3% as against 5.5% during the corresponding period a year ago. Experts agree that 7 out of the 8 core industries showing a contradiction was a worrying signal, but said the trend could be reversed in a few months. So move to the next news. Twitter will ban political ads globally. Dorsey, Twitter inclusive will ban political advertising on its platform next month, the company's chief executive officer said on Wednesday, a move that won praise from Democrats and score from Donald Trump's presidential campaign. We have made this decision to stop all political advertising on Twitter globally, said Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey in a statement. We believe political messagery should be on, not bought. Analysts do not expect the ban, which takes effort on November 22 to significantly reduce Twitter's business. Social media campaigns, including Twitter, Apple, Facebook, including face growing pressure to stop carrying ads that spread false information that could steer elections. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg opened his earnings conference call on Wednesday by demanding the company's policy to run ads from politicians containing false or misleading claims, saying that the Facebook did not want to stifle political speech. The company confirmed to Reuters on Monday that some employees had criticized its policy. In an internal letter, Zuckerberg estimated ads from politicians would account for 0.5% of the Facebook's revenue next year. I expect that this is going to be a very tough year, he said, adding that controversies over political intent could lead to investigations. Facebook reported its third straight rise in quarterly sales growth on Wednesday. Leading analysts estimate Facebook has pledged efforts to deal with the misinformation after Russian propaganda on the platform was seen to affect the outcome of the 2016 US presidential election. which was won by the Trump Republican. But the social media giant made a decision to not fact check ads run by politicians drawing from Democratic candidates running in the 2020 presidential election, such as the former Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Elizabeth Warren. So move to the last news. Cognizant cuts job as part of cost-cutting revamp plans. Cognizant Technology Solutions Corp will eliminate as many as 7,000 mid-senior level jobs globally and reskill about 5,000 employees as part of a plan to save cost and simplify its organization structure. This will result in an annual cost savings of $500 to $550 million, which will be reinvested in the growth. Chief Executive Brian Humphreys said in a telephonic interview on Thursday. The growth reduction is expected to lead to a net reduction of approximately 5,000 to 7,000 roles. As we are looking to rescale and redeploy approximately 5,000 of the total associates impacted, he said. The restructuring should be looked as a way to create more jobs as the company gets back to growth. Humphrey said as on September 30, Cognizant worldwide employee strength stood at 289,900. The company said it's simplifying the organizational model and embarking on a fit-for-growth plan that will involve strategic investments and measures to streamline the cost structure. Apart from the reduction of employees, Cognizant also plans to exit certain content work within the digital operations practice that is not aligned with the company's long-term strategic vision. This involves determining whether certain content falls to meet client standards. Exiting this area will impact an additional approximately 6,000 roles worldwide. Through the company intends to work with its partners to explore ways to transition the roles to alternative vendors, thereby reducing the impact on associates, the management said in a post-earnings call with analysts on Thursday. The move will also impact Cognizant's revenue in the communications, media and technology business segment, with the ramp down in the work expected to spread over the next 1 to 2 years. All other Cognizant digital operations content-related work will continue, the management said. Such layoffs are already happening quietly in the industry, so this is not something unexpected. A lot of the IT services companies are pruning to growth in areas that are strategic to them. From the company's perspective, it's like a necessary evil whether they have to take tough decisions as part of their growth in strategy, said Sanjay Chikogi, our chief analyst at the Greyhound Research. Despite the job cuts, Cognizant clarified that it will continue to hire talent globally with a focus on the digital areas. Meanwhile, the New Jersey-based IT services company raised its full-year revenue growth forecast to 4.6 to 4.9% from the 3.9 to 4.9% growth it predicted when it announced its June quarterly earnings. Net profit for the quarter ended September rose to 4.2% to the $497 million from $477 million in the year-ago quarter. Revenue rose 4.2% to the $4.2 billion. So if you like the channel, so kindly subscribe to it.